DHS is already calling the facility the Cornhusker Clink, and right now it can house about 200 people. They're hoping they can get that number closer to 300.
And as you look around me, you can see that there's just debris everywhere. Right behind me used to be a 50 by 80-foot barn, completely flown away.
You can see there's just some cop cars lined up. We did see a forensics unit as well. What we know so far is that a 49-year-old woman was hit. She has non-life-threatening injuries. After hearing about Nebraska's latest honeybee colony collapse, we decided to suit up and see what work local beekeepers are doing to help preserve the bees.
To find out what makes the University of Nebraska Omaha's flight team award-winning, we decided to hop in the plane.
The mayor and his staff are so excited to get the city together to celebrate the greatness that is Terrence Bud Crawford. Right now, I'm at 19th and Farnham, where the parade will be kicking off in just 10 days. We're hearing that Creighton University is on lockdown right now, and what we know so far is that a man was in an altercation right outside of this McDonald's. He was fighting some other people, and he walked into the McDonald's saying that he was shot.
To find out how firefighters deal with the extreme heat, we decided to gear up.
That's where the champ at. Yeah!
So at this point, I've got this is like 20 kids around me. Do you guys all box?
Yeah!
There we go. Here at the zoo, they say animal safety is their #1 priority, and that's why they have multiple different ways that the animals can beat the summer heat. And so we found out that either an M80 or an artillery shell was thrown at 2 officers. Now, those officers were not injured, but they don't know who threw that. We also know that 2 people were charged with disorderly conduct and then released. Adore was swimming with a friend last night in a reservoir. Police were called to the scene after hearing that there were 2 people in distress. Now, Adore's friend was able to get out of the water. Unfortunately, Adore was not. The main point that both groups made clear: don't leave anyone in the car when it's this hot outside. They say it's only putting your loved ones at risk and putting you in a position to get in trouble.
And I spent my day walking along the riverfront talking to different neighbors who say they can't believe that a plane crashed in their backyard.
What you see on my phone and on your screen is OPPD's old map. Now, that map provided details like the total number of customers out in the service area, the amount of customers out in each county, and the percentage of customers out of power in each county. Now, it wouldn't be Saturday without a story from the football field, but this one features the students making music on the sidelines. Speaking of fistfights, we've got one for the history books tonight. Omaha native Bud Crawford is in Vegas to face off against undisputed super middleweight Canelo Alvarez. You know, it kind of brings me back to my childhood with Odell Beckham with that big catch,
That's what they were saying on the broadcast.
That's
exactly
what it reminded me of. A deadly hit and run kills a man on the 10th Street Bridge. Police say a man was walking along the bridge with his bike when he was hit by a car, killing him. I want to stop you in your tracks. I think you put that Rutgers loss on purpose. For those of you that don't know, that is my alma mater. So.
Hey, I'm a Mizzou grad, and they're, having some highs and lows this season.
Not looking great either. Turning Point USA announces they will be hosting a memorial for their founder, Charlie Kirk. Kirk was assassinated while speaking to over 3,000 people at Utah Valley University on Thursday. A tech company CEO resigns after a controversy where he was caught on the kiss cam at a Coldplay concert.
Friday afternoon seemed like an ordinary day for Kirk Klein, who was waiting to grab food with his wife and granddaughters.
I was sitting in my bed, similar to how I'm sitting now, kind of flipping through my iPad.
But out of nowhere, he heard a large bang.
I looked down, blood was pretty much coming out my leg, running down my leg. Looked back just to my left and saw the bullet holes in the window.
Leaving Klein yelling for his wife.
Help me, I've been shot, which is certainly a phrase I had never planned to say in my lifetime.
That bullet hitting both his feet, sending him to the hospital.
For getting shot, I was very lucky. No surgery, no structural damage. I've just got a lot of tissue wounds, got a bullet fragment. Probably about 6 weeks, and I should be fairly well recovered.
2 days later, Klein's back home with 2 boots on and a pair of crutches, thankful to be alive.
This could have been way worse. I'm pretty happy. We're going to go forward and things are going to be good.
The one thing the retiree dreads is his routine being uprooted.
I go to my gym, Better Bodies, 9 to 10 times a week.
Owner of Better Bodies Gym says that if you're a member, chances are you know Kurt Klein.
I think some people see him more than they see me. He's in here multiple times per day,
walking on the treadmill, doing a class.
A vital member of the gym's community.
I've had emergencies where I have had to leave the desk, and Kurt's like, I'll work the front desk for a couple hours. You know, if you need something, you call Kurt.
Now the members of Better Bodies Gym are stepping up to show him the love.
The gym is a tremendous community for me. They're all over it. They've been to the hospital. I could snap my fingers and they will mow my grass.
But don't expect Kurt to be out of commission too long.
He said something to the fact like, well, it might be a week or two, but I'll be back on a bike doing one-legged spin again. You know, he just had a knee injury like earlier this year, and he was, you know, in here spinning on a bike with one leg.
2 days removed from being shot, he's ready to begin his recovery journey.
I know I'm going to be bored for the next, you know, X number of weeks, but this could have been way, way worse. You go forward.
He finds the positive in seemingly negative circumstances.
Inspiring those around him as he smiles through the pain.
The world needs more Kurt Kleins.
No matter the time of year, firefighters stay prepared to serve their community. But Captain Lemick with the Omaha Fire Department says as the summer heats up, new challenges emerge.
You're looking at temperatures, you know, inside of that gear, 120, 130 degrees.
Gear covering them head to toe, ensuring they're protected from the heat of active fires that can get up to 600 degrees.
Fire gear is made with that thermal barrier. There's no summer set of gear, there's no winter set of gear, there's no bunker shorts.
To find out just how hot that gear gets, I decided to suit up.
Every single firefighter can get all this gear on in less than 60 seconds. It's required.
I raced to get everything on, getting it done in 45 seconds. Academy ready. Then put myself to the test, running through a simulation of what a firefighter might have to do.
Run it down to that other pole, something like that. Oh, what a nightmare.
Safe to say, on a day with a high temperature of 90 degrees, the gear's not comfortable.
How does that feel?
Feels hot. Both the Omaha and Council Bluffs fire departments say they stay cool by keeping their bodies prepared.
Making sure they're coming in hydrated, making sure they're eating well, and keeping the energy level up. And then we have to take a proactive approach.
And ensuring that no one's spending too much time by the fire.
Firefighters are getting rotated in and out of that emergency scene.
When they're rotated out of the active fire zone, firefighters use rehab centers where they're rehydrated and cooled with cold water chairs and mist fans.
So when you come out to rehab, we have to make sure we peel those layers off quicker so that way our guys can cool down.
Fighting fire in the heat in order to keep the community safe.
He is just staring me down.
Hunter Mead had his future all planned out.
He was considerate. He thought things through.
Having just graduated high school, he was thinking of going to a welding institute and getting his own apartment.
He's kind of a thinker.
He probably didn't think that a small amount of kratom could kill him. Unfortunately, his mother didn't know either.
Anyways, 2 in the morning, the police were here telling me he was gone. And they had no explanation as to why. So we had no clue what had happened to him for 6 weeks.
At the time, all Randy knew was that her son went to a friend's house, fell asleep, and never woke up.
There was no alcohol in his system, no THC, no illegal drugs. I mean, nothing. There was nothing.
What did show up in his toxicology report was mitragenine, a chemical found in kratom. Dr. Ken Zuha with UNMC explained to me that too much mitragenine can lead to kratom toxicity.
It's very much like taking too much opioids. You just stop breathing.
Hunter's mom barely knew what kratom was.
I thought I knew every drug that was out there. I thought I knew every dangerous thing that my child might try because kids try stuff.
But as she began researching it, she found out that her son must not have been taking it very long.
In the deaths, the lowest amount I've found of kratom that was in somebody's system was like 1,600 nanograms. Hunter had 152 nanograms. There's nothing to suggest, as far as when you're looking at the quantity that was in his blood, that he had been taking it regularly.
Learning more about kratom, Mead became disturbed by how accessible it is.
As long as people can buy it at a gas station, right there is your first thing that says, oh, it can't be that bad. You know what I mean? I can buy it at a gas station. It can't be any more dangerous than buying a vape.
Leading Randy to fight, hoping that no family would have to go through what they did.
And I do plan to go every chance I get to get it out there until we can get it banned, or at least get enough attention on this that people are thinking twice.
But not everyone thinks a ban is a good idea.
Nebraska could do better to provide more resources for substance use alongside just banning products.
Paul Weisapple is a harm reduction instructor with UNMC. He battled addiction head-on for over 20 years.
I was taking about 4 40-milligram OxyContins every day.
While he doesn't recommend anyone take Kratom, he says the government shouldn't be making the call on how accessible it is.
I don't think anyone's qualified to make a decision about anyone else's recovery or the way that they try to treat the symptoms of what I believe is a disease that can take everything from you.
And that making it illegal won't make it disappear.
For people that are suffering from debilitating mental health issues, they're going to do it either way.
But momentum for a ban has been growing in recent years.
What do you think it would take to get a ban?
It's going to take more deaths, and that's horrible, and it should not be that way. I went with Senator Lippincott, and because he's for the ban, and spoke, and they ended up combining the two bills, one for banning, one for regulating, and they went through with the regulation.
Regulation will require Kratom products in Nebraska to have clear labeling telling you the serving amounts in each product, something that products like these don't currently show.
Experts say one of the biggest issues with Kratom has been the lack of labels.
There is no idea like what else is in capsules, for instance, or the powder.
Or for instance, something that's making Kratom deadlier, a concentrated semi-synthetic substance called 7-hydroxy.
7-hydroxymetranogen. It's like 100 times more potent than Kratom is. Because of the increased potency, we are seeing in the United States increasing overdose deaths from 7-hydroxy and increasing difficulties associated with that.
The regulation passed in Nebraska also targets 7-hydroxy, requiring lab tests to ensure there is no more than 2% of it in Kratom sold.
But I think that like more we understand and destigmatize drug use in Nebraska, the more resources we'll have.
For the Mead family, Hunter's legacy lives on as he gives back to others.
He was very adamant he wanted to be a donor. He's had 12 successful transplants.
Continuing to be with his family in everything they do.
He's a part of our lives every day. We bring him into everything we do.
Reporting from Omaha, I'm Pete Cuddihy, KATV Newswatch 7.